And now we're on to the plan module. In this module, you will learn how to take what you have read and put it into a plan. Of course, we've gone over the mindset module, we've gone over the productivity. These are fundamental to your growth and your success. Throughout this module, you will get a chance to apply different strategies I've personally used throughout my years of experience of being a lifelong learner. I've also taken from other sources that will help you to become a better planner. That way you can take that plan and put it into action. So let's get into it. The first lesson here is brain dump. A brain dump is similar to journaling, which, if you remember, had a full lesson mentioned in the first module about mindset. It's basically when you have so many ideas going on in your mind at one single moment that you have no idea where to start. Getting your ideas out of your head and into a single place will help you organize your thoughts so you can focus on one task at a time rather than focusing on all of them at once. I know brain dump kind of sounds like a very funny name, but it's true. It's just kind of like you're dumping your brain on paper. One of the biggest differences between journaling and doing a brain dump, though, is how much more than just writing goes into it. There are a lot more steps that come after the actual brain dump, which will help you out tremendously in any sort of plans that you need to make, in addition to all of the benefits you get from journaling, which, if you remember, there are tons of benefits. I'll explain the benefits and each step below. So step 1, you can either use a Google Docs, which is the form that I suggest for a brain dump, or use paper or a notebook. You could also do a combination of both, where you write in your notebook first and then follow the next few steps in Google Docs. Do what is best for you. Step 2, instead of writing in paragraphs, use bullet points for each different idea that you write. This will make it easier to categorize your ideas in the next few steps. However, it's still important that you let the ideas flow from your head without any thought as to what you're going to put on the paper. Just like you would do maybe in your journal. Just let it flow from your mind onto the paper. Step 3, give yourself plenty of time for doing a brain dump. The total process might take you between 30 to 45 minutes. I know that is quite a lot, but that's just on the first go. Once you get used to the process, it may only take you 20 minutes, maybe 15. It also depends on how much you have in your mind at the time when you do the brain dump. Step 4, start putting your ideas down on paper. Like I said in step 2, just let it flow from you. Write your upcoming projects, your family, what you have to do when you go shopping, what you have to buy, where you want to go on holiday, ideas and more ideas, and anything else that comes to your mind. Remember to use bullet points for each separate item. So you're not writing out full sentences. You're just writing down your ideas. Like write a book, family trip, right? Things I need at the store. Just writing phrases. Step 5. Go do something else for 10 to 15 minutes, probably something that helps your mind wander, like going for a walk, doing some yoga, maybe even washing the dishes while listening to music or something like that. Something that is basically mindless. Step 6, come back and add anything else to the list that you might have come up with during your short break. 7, categorize your list. You can make categories, for example, work, online course, family, problems, projects, content, new ideas, experiments, and so on. Use whatever categories you think work best that fit with the line of work that you are doing or your lifestyle. The list above is just something I personally have most commonly used after my own brain dumps. The thing is, too, that each brain dump will have different categories. It's not going to be the same every single time, but there may be some commonalities like there is often in mine. Eliminate any ideas that are not a priority or don't align with your big goal. Just like everything else in this course, you are going to use your big goal as a filter to put the different items into each category. That doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot do any of these things at a later date. It just means that it doesn't align with what you're trying to accomplish right now. Therefore, don't erase it from your list. Just maybe cross it out lightly. That way you can still read it and then maybe you can add it to another list at a later date. Step 8. Break bigger projects into smaller tasks. For example, if you wrote that you want to start your own online course, that is a very broad term. So obviously, you need to break it down into smaller tasks in order to accomplish the bigger one. Do this for as many bullet points as you feel fit for your life. And you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Like building an online course is a lot to do. It's a lot to handle. So you probably don't want to have something like build an online course, write a book. What else can you add to that? Anything else basically. Building your business, whatever it may be. You don't want to have too many things on your list. You get the point, right? So that may look something like this for the first example. Online course. Online course topic. What problem will this solve? Target market. Ideal client. Online course format. One-to-one or one-to-group. Online course platform. Online course outline. Marketing. What goes into your marketing? The list goes on and on, but the more specific, the better. Step 9, set a schedule. Decide when you're going to take care of each item on your list. That way you narrow down each bullet point. Your schedule doesn't have to be exact, but try to get exact as possible. That way you can work towards your accomplishments. So for example, during the online course, like a lot of these things you can decide what you want right away, but like an outline might take you a little bit. So maybe you need a week for that, right? Something like that, okay? And the more specific, like I said, the more specific you are, but also the more realistic you are at the time, this will help you to accomplish what you need to accomplish. Try limiting yourself to a maximum of 2 or 3 bigger projects, which is what I was trying to say earlier, to don't overwhelm yourself. The more focus on one big project, the better. Step 10, get one of the simplest tasks done right away, right after you finish the list. Or if you have time, you can even knock out one of the bigger ones out of the way. The most important aspect of this strategy is to feel that you have done something to make progress towards your big goal. So getting something done right away is like a win for you. It makes you feel motivated. And then the next day you can tackle some of the bigger ones. Another great aspect of this strategy is you will be much more organized. You can repeat this process weekly or monthly, however often you think you need to do so. It could be a little bit less than you do journaling, because journaling I feel like is maybe even more beneficial in a certain way because you're writing down full, complete sentences and you're just letting your ideas flow onto the paper, your feelings. This brain dump is more for like business strategy, like what do you need to organize in your life? You just dump it down onto the paper, get it out in front of you, and then organize it. It could even be once a month. It could be, just decide whatever timing is best for you. Try to decide on that and then stick to that. Honestly, doing it once a week is the best for me though. Whatever works for you, do that. Now, you have learned each brain dump step clearly. I would like you to do one for yourself. You don't need to send it to me if you don't want to, but I would kind of like to see maybe the final result to see like what sort of things you put in each category. So if you send this to me, it will be a way for me to better understand your needs and how I can help you. So you know where to send it, Matt at bookmatic.com.